This fall, Bill Cosby returns to television with something new, own unique style.
You gonna be in there long?
Norton Furniture is here for you. Now, seriously, if you can't get credit in my store, you can't get credit anywhere. My name is Mark. You can count on it.
540, join.
Join the fun. All have some.
Blow it up now, give it a whack. Turn up the fun with Balzac. Hit it.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
You know what it is. Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey.
They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right.
Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Cut you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today.
Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to TSWS Gaming. I'm Loke7. It's been a minute. It has been a while. Feels good to be back. Oshis, how are you? What you been doing? Oshis,
Yo, I'm good, man. Yeah,
how are
can you
you?
hear
What
me?
you been doing?
Good, man. I've been playing Doom, the Dark Ages.
Everyone knows this. You
Huh?
don't play video games. Everyone knows this.
What are you
Stop the
talking
cap.
about?
Cut the cap.
What are you
Cut the
talking
cap.
about? What do I play? Like
What
what?
do you think of Doom?
Twitter.
What are your takeaways? Do you have notes?
Mm.
Do you have notes?
Yeah, I said. Yeah. Well, I don't need notes. Like I can just freestyle and tell you. It is by far this far my game of the year. It just knocked Clear Obscure out of the way. Clean, Baba, with the same freaking whatchamacallit, or what do you call it? Is it
Say that one more
Dodge? What is that?
time.
What is that? The
Say that
Dodge
one
and
more
Parry.
time. It is your
That's my
game
game of the year.
of the week. It's the game of the
Yes.
month.
Game of the year this far.
Oh
Until I
my
play
God.
Stellar Blade in 2 weeks on PC. Yes, it's my game. But I don't think
Jeez.
Stellar Blade qualifies because it's already been nominated previously. But
Listen,
like yeah,
it's
so
the
for so far like
it's the Game Awards. They nominate DLC. So fuck it. Re-releases, who cares, right? Let's put in remakes, remasters, and everything. As long as it came out
yeah.
this year again at full price, hey, it's a nominee. But I digress.
It's
Go ahead.
and I don't understand what everybody's complaining about. Like I saw Cass as well. She went on a rant about the system
Hey,
requirements.
settle
Look, the
down on
system
Cassie.
requirements on
Yo, this is
no,
a
that's my girl.
friendly show.
Yes.
Do not be criticizing
Yeah.
Cass. All right.
I've been like whatchamacallit with Cassie since day one, bro. Like
So
I'm
assume the
Cassie's number
position.
one.
Ushers, assume the
Uh,
position on your knees, sir.
no, bro. That's not
All
how
right,
you
go ahead.
greet. That's not how you greet homies. You don't greet homies on your knees, bro. What's wrong with you?
Man.
I don't know how you greet your homies. I
All
dab them.
right. All right.
I don't assume no position. But like where I tend to disagree with her is just
Guess if you're watching,
like
I'd assume that position. Go
if
ahead,
you're
Ushers.
watching past you know I got love for you. You know you my girl.
Anyway,
So
go ahead.
my thing is right is that
Hmm.
like I've got two cards. I've got a 3060 Ti and I've got a 3050 6 gig.
Uh-huh.
That thing 6 gig 3050, bro. That's like Switch levels of gameplay, like Switch 2 levels of gameplay. It's a little bit more powerful than the Switch 2. But I can run that game at like I use about like is it 1918p or 1080p. But if I want to run it at like ultra, I put it at 1918p on my 3050 and it
Oh my
runs
God,
perfect.
no one fucking cares. Go to Digital Foundry if you want to talk about frames per
It
second. All that
it
bullshit.
runs
You're on
amazing.
podcast. Ushers, go to Digital
Bro,
Foundry.
Vincent
Welcome in
Vincent
to
Vega's here.
Mr. Vincent Vega. Came in here first. Right? Right
Vincent
when
knows what
the
I'm
show
talking
went
about.
live, he came in here first. Thank you so much, Vincent Vega. Remake Station 5, already laughing. Ron Slasher is trying to piss me off. Says, where's Hellblade 2? You know where it is? It's in the trash because I finished it. I finished it. I finished Hellblade 2, Ron Slasher. Leave me alone. Seawolf, oh, excuse me. Seawolf says, Loke back with the yoga pants. For the upteenth time, these are not yoga pants. All right? Let me, wait, hold on.
We can't see your pants, bro. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
see?
we want to, but we
See,
can't see.
there's buckles and everything. These are actual pants, like trousers.
Bro, like tuck in your G string.
Oh, all right, all right, all right. Remake Station says we're pervs because we're looking forward to it. We're not pervs, Remake Station. We are men that know what they like. Vincent, until you goon Stellar Blade, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
Seawolf, I agree with you. My game of the year probably is going to be Delta. If they don't fuck it up, it'll be Delta. But so
Oh,
far, it's Expedition 33. No.
oh, Mr. Remakes and
Jax82,
remake.
Jax, Jax82, welcome in, says, wait, what ushers has came around on Doom the Dark Ages? Yes, it's that good, as well as Expedition 33. They're both awesome
Yeah, they're
games.
both awesome games.
They're both awesome
And
games.
you know what they have in common?
Okay. What?
Dodge and parry.
Dodge and... Oh, damn, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, they
You're
both
right.
dodge and parry games. Like this is the
Yeah,
first Doom that
yeah.
actually, and I love the dodge and parry. Oh, it's so sweet, dude. Like you really, really feel like a badass on Doom when you use that dodge and parry mechanic with the shield. I want a Captain America game with that fucking shield, bro. Those shield mechanics are incredible. Best shield mechanics
I
in
heard
any game.
someone say that if you fast forward the game like to 100%, you will have a better time. Is that true?
What do you mean fast forward the game?
As in the speed of the game.
Oh no, no, I've not changed any. I've not. There's a. I know that there's like a whole page where you can tweak specific settings. Like in terms of, I have not tweaked any of that. I'm just playing at hurt me. I think it's hurt me plenty difficulty level. I've not tweaked anything around the controls. The only thing I've played around with is the graphics, and I love it. Like, dude, it can run on the weakest Nvidia RTX card or modern card, and it runs fantastic. Highly recommend.
All right. Fuzzy says it's on PlayStation now. Look, you're allowed to play Hellblade 2 now. Listen. Contrary to whatever it is that you guys have been hearing, I'm not a Sony or PlayStation fanboy. I'm not. I'm not. I thought Hellblade was trash. I still think it's trash today that it's going to Xbox to PlayStation. I will think it's trash tomorrow. when it goes to the Switch. Like I don't know what to tell you guys. I really like I don't care. I don't care which box it's on. If I don't like it, then I'll say I don't like it. And if I do, I don't care if it's a Nintendo game. I mean, I'm blasting the crap out of Fire Emblem Three Houses right now. Blasting the crap out of it. Great game. Awesome story. I still hate Nintendo though. For anyone that wants to know, I still hate Nintendo. Um, Seawolf says you get those in Stellar Blade 2 and a whole lot of ass and jiggle physics. Listen, the guys that got made Stellar Blade, they're playing to the crowd. Okay, if you're making a product and you're not trying to please the people that are going to buy your product in in the name of feminism or whatever it is that you want to come up with, right? Hey man, good luck living under a bridge. Everyone else that understands that this is a business transaction, they're going to give the customer what we want. And what we want is jiggle physics and all that other good stuff. So, Ushers, one more time, Doom the Dark Ages is your game of the year.
So far, yeah, it's my until
How
I get my jiggly wigglies on. That's my game of the year because I
how
actually
far?
I'm like on the seventh stage.
Seventh chapter.
Yeah, like so I finished the dragon one. I'm like on the seventh chapter. Yeah, so yeah, man, like I'm loving everything so far about the game. I didn't think I would like it. I was like very skeptical at first. I didn't think it would be my jam, but like, cause I hated Eternal, bro. Like, I could barely make it like for first the first level because of like how it's such a difficult game because it forces you to play the way that
To
the
play
game
the
wants.
game. Doom Eternal is hard because it forces you to play the game.
The
Is that what
way
we're
that the
going with?
game wants you to play it. It doesn't allow you the freedom to sort of like learn. Like the first level in Doom Eternal is just fucking. It's that fucking brain thing shooting thingies at you. Sorry, am I swearing too soon? It's that thing that's shooting like it's like a brain that's on like it's like a spider brain thing, and you
Hmm.
immediately have to figure out how to take it apart while maintaining. It's too much, man. It was just way too much for me. This is more like
It's
my speed. It plays like an actual game that allows you to sort of get your bearings in order, understand how you're going to play it, understand how you're going to sort of like optimize gameplay for yourself. So I know I think to me and then the thing that makes me sad is because of how they make these games that the next one is probably going to be very different. It's not going to be like this. So this is probably my favorite Doom game.
and you
Um,
probably won't get another one.
Well, there's my two favorites. This is my second favorite Doom game. My first was Doom 3.
Doom 3. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
I heard bad things about Doom 3. Like they
No,
slowed
Doom
it
3 is
down,
yeah, it's a
turned it
survival
into a
horror game.
horror. They turned it into like a horror game, which a lot of Doom fans were like, that's not Doom anymore. And I kind of agree with them.
That's why I
In
like it. It's so
in
different.
Doom though, because the logic is in Doom, you are Frankenstein, right? Ushers,
Yeah.
you're the one that everyone is running away from
Yeah.
and is scared as fuck of.
Yeah. If you're a Doom guy. Doom guy is
So
like the boogeyman. He is the Baba Yaga. He is
yeah,
John
so
Wick.
so do you play as Doom guy? Do you play as Doom guy in Doom 3?
No, you play a generic Marine in Doom 3. Like you're
Oh, okay,
just
so that makes sense. Hold on.
yeah. So
I
you're a
take it back.
normal
I
guy.
take it all back. I take it all back. So maybe Doom 3 is actually okay. Because I thought you play as a Doom Slayer, but
No, no,
you're
no.
like a scared little pussy.
You're just
And
a everyday marine. They like it's much more like you know what they did. They looked at like if
yeah,
you look at when it was released, they looked at games like Silent Hill. They looked at games like Resident Evil, and at the time, like the most popular Resident Evil was like Resident Evil 2. So they looked at games like that, and then they said, how can we turn that using the ID technology with all these cool shadows and stuff that we can do? How can we turn our game into like a survive the in my opinion, for that era, there is no better survival horror experience in terms of how it uses the game engine to make the most or to scare the shit out of you. So
there
it's a
is no
very
better. Hold on. Hold on. Are we saying Which
in my
I can't
opinion.
I can't think of it right now. The game in space where you're like a scientist and stuff. I'm forgetting the name.
Dead
Dead
Space.
Space. Are we saying that
Yeah, Doom is better
Doom
than Dead.
3?
Doom 3 is better than Dead Space, hands down. That without a shadow of a doubt. Just from a position of visuals, and of course, don't forget that Dead Space came out like 5 years to 10 years later. But I think it came out quite a bit later. It came out like almost like a good generation later. But like when Doom 3 came out, I can safely say, actually, not even when it came out, I can safely say that if you put the two games side by side, Doom is a far superior experience just based on the ID Tech engine and the
To
sort of stuff
high
it
to
does.
Half-Life.
No, not Half Life.
Sorry. To Dead
To
Space.
Dead
My
Space.
bad. To Dead Space.
It's better than Dead Space, bro.
Okay. Let's see what the chat
Hands
thinks
down,
because I think you're bugging. I haven't
bro.
played in neither one of those, but I think you're bugging.
Yeah, I am that.
General sentiment has been that Doom 3 was either mid to bad, and that uh, Dead Space is like pretty close to a masterpiece. Drawn TJ, welcome in. Yes, look, we want the jig. We don't just want the jiggle. All right, on PC, we don't want the jiggle. Sorry, we don't just want the jiggle. We want the jiggle. We want the wiggle. We want the figgle. Just leave it at that. We want everything. Uh, Rachie, welcome in. Says your dad made you miss the start to the show. That's fine. That's fine, Rachie. As long as you come through, whether you're on time or late, coming through the middle, it's fine. As long as you come through, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. Please don't forget to smash the like button. We really do appreciate your guys' continued support. Uh, Seawolf thinks you're bugging. Oshus, Vincent Vega also thinks you're crazy. Says Doom 3 is cack.
Why does it have an?
Uh,
Come on, guys.
Drawn TJ's not feeling what you're saying. Yeah,
Come
bro,
on.
it's just you. It's just you, brother. I'm sorry.
Haters
It's
gonna hate. Like,
just you.
dude. So who?
Haters
Okay,
gonna
but like,
hate.
how is it
Okay,
just me though? Like,
it's
the game came out.
hateration.
Had like,
When you are the only one who thinks
oh come on. Like, you know what
a
the
game that
score
is
is?
universally received as mid to
No,
bad
it's not.
is
It's an
awesome.
87 Metacritic, bro. It's 2 points
Yeah.
away from Dead Space.
Okay. What's the
77
Metacritic?
audience
What's
score.
bro, 77 is not enough because you brought in the audience score because you knew I was going to ask you what the audience score is, and
Yeah,
also I was about to
it's
bring
like
up
three
a whole
points
bunch
different.
of examples of games
Right.
that have awesome critic scores on Metacritic, but they're shit. So settle down with the Metacritic
Okay, so what would you
glazing.
be? So what would be your metric for what makes this? Because there's not a single thing, aside from just maybe a handful of people saying they didn't like the game. Like, there's no other metric that says this game is
It's,
bad.
no,
Like, it's
listen,
sold very
listen. I'm
well.
not sitting
Like,
here. I'm not
yeah,
sitting here and saying that I have an objective metric at the tip of my finger
yeah.
at the tip of my fingers right now. That's not what I'm saying. That's why I've always been very specific that I'm talking about sentiment right now. Doom 3, right, is cack.
But whose
How do I
sentiment?
know this? How do I know this? Randomly talking to people or looking at what people are saying, not only on Twitter, but on YouTube and on Reddit. It just is what it is. The same way, Oshus, we all know that Elden Ring is one of the best of all time, not because it got an award at the Game Awards, because Astrobot got a game got an award at the Game Awards. No, but
Okay.
because of this so-called sentiment that you are now trying to discredit because we're having this discussion specifically about the one Doom game that you like, that's actually kind of crap.
No, but it's not. Like, dude, like, give me one metric that indicates that this game is bad.
Oh God.
Like any
So,
metric,
so
because
do,
I'm
do,
saying to you that it
do you want
reviewed
to
like
test it?
across the board
Is that
average
the
about
point?
88 to 87. It sold tens of millions. It was
Uh-huh.
widely popular when it was released. So where's this metric that says this game was received negatively in any way? The audience scores are great. The actual professional reviews are great. The only thing that sucked about these games, or the only problem, or where this game
Hmm.
got bad reviews, was when it was re-released as the BFG edition for the
All right. So
PS3
so
and
okay. Essentially, you just moved the goalpost because this whole thing got started not when you said you liked Doom 3, which I was like, okay, whatever. Then you said it was better than Dead Space. Then the chat said you're crazy. And now we've moved the goalpost from is this thing better than Dead Space to was this thing good? Which wasn't the original discussion.
Huh? I'm lost now.
Yeah, the original discussion was not Oshus does
So
Oshus have the
okay,
right to like Doom 3? The original
no, it's a
discussion
brilliant
was
game
as soon as you said this is better than Dead Space,
to me, and I even qualified that. I said to me, this is a
and
far
and,
superior.
and I said that makes no sense, and the chat agrees with me. And instead of you being like, you know what, that's fine, right? But to me, it still is. And then that's it. Then
No,
you
it's
start talking
not.
about
It's
objective.
not
You start talking about
fine.
objective. Then you start talking about objective metrics of is this thing worse than Dead Space
Okay,
or not?
so but like my question is to you, like very simple. Is okay, cool. So give me one qualifier that you can identify aside from the people that you've spoken to that says this game is bad or it's mint.
No, I'm not the one who said. I'm not the one who said that
Because
Doom 3
I've
is
got all the
better.
evidence. Like I've got
Cautious.
all the
I'm not.
evidence to say that it's
and
not
and
mint.
and I'm saying I reject your evidence not only
Okay.
for this argument, but it's something that I've consistently stated on this show. So it's not you can't even say, oh no, he's rejecting it. He doesn't want Metacritic because we're talking about this
Okay, let's
specific
leave
thing.
Metacritic.
I've
What other
always
qualifier?
said screw the whole Metacritic thing. It's fun to talk about, but I
Yeah.
don't sit there and make my personal decisions on whether something is great or not based on Metacritic. I make it off of what do people think?
Yeah,
And
but okay,
if
so
and
qualify that for me, please.
again, dude, the first concede the main point that Doom
Yeah.
3 is not better than Dead Space. And then we can move
No.
your goalpost. Okay, so let's stay
According
on
to
the main
what
point.
though? Like what are we because like for you to say
You
it's better,
presented Ushers, you
yeah,
posit that Doom 3 is better than
and I said
than
to me, hands
and
down.
I said fine. I don't think so. No one in the chat thinks so. Let
Okay,
it
so
die.
are we
But you
going according to
won't,
chat?
Ushers.
Are-
You won't. You won't let it die.
So are we
I'm
going
giving
okay?
you an out. I'm giving you an out right now.
Okay.
I think Doom 3 is not better
In
than
your
Dead Space,
opinion? Yes, okay.
which is why in the English language, when you say I think something,
Yes.
you are now saying that in your opinion, that something is what you think. Ushers,
100% I
Ushers, keep
agree with
up.
you.
Keep up. I need you to keep up right now.
I'm
I
trying. I'm
think
trying my hardest.
Doom
Yes.
is not better than Dead Space. The chat thinks Doom is not
Okay.
better than Dead
So,
Space.
so
You
according to the
think,
TS,
you
you
think,
said, yeah,
Ushers, you
yeah,
think Doom 3 is better than Dead Space,
100%.
which is your right. And I'm saying that's fine. We don't think so. Can we move on? Yes or no?
Hmm? I have my reservations, but I'll allow it.
I love it. I love it. I
According to
fucking
the
love it.
TSWS
Oh my
community,
God.
Dead Space. If you said this to me, Logan said, according to the TSWS
No, sir.
community,
No, sir.
Dead Space
No,
is
sir.
better.
That's not
I
what
would
this
say
was about.
I concede, Loke. That is a good qualifier. Your qualifier is basically saying,
Ham
according
is in
to
the
our
chat.
community, the chat,
Ham is in the
me
chat and he
disagree
says
with
I'm a
you.
hater. Ham says I'm a hater. It's fine. It's fine. What Remake Station says Elden Ring is overrated, but I get why people love it. Okay, you know what? You saved it. You saved it with that second part. Jacob Novak, welcome in. Hi, Loke, or shall I say, the cyber assassin? The cyborg assassin. Why am I the cyborg assassin? What's happening?
So
What,
I
what,
see Fuzzy Tomato agrees with me. Thank you, Fuzzy. I
hey, man,
appreciate
you got
it.
one person to agree with you.
So
That's a
it's
big
not
dub.
unanimous in this
Take
community that
it.
Doom 3 is
Dude, take
a
that dub and
massive
run with
bad
it. You
or
got
to me.
one person in the chat to agree with you.
Yeah, that's
Take it
more
and
than
run,
usual.
bro.
I'm
Take it
glad
and run
Big
with
Mad
it.
Mo is not here because he would be instantly disagreeing.
All right. Seawolf says Marathon is Dead Space. Okay, sure. Marathon is dead. I think it's dead. I listen. I don't want to retread over a subject I'm sure was covered thoroughly last week, but clearly the chat wants to get into it real quick. Oshes,
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Marathon being dead? Apparently,
Ah,
uh,
dude.
they're not putting any money into like marketing material, which to
Yeah,
many people indicates that it's either delayed to next year or it's
yeah.
properly dead. What do you think? Ty,
Um,
welcome in. Good evening. Hope you enjoyed your flight, Ty. Go ahead, Oshis.
so this
Let
is
me send
such
you the
a
link, Ty.
this is such a weird. It's actually not weird, but like it's. I think Sony is like, if this was in any other generation that Sony was taking these sort of L's, they would be out. Like they would literally be like hanging for dear life in the console race. But they're lucky, man, of where like they like how the industry is in a weird place right now. So Marathon is going to be another L that they can afford to take simply because of the market conditions. But damn, I don't know how they can be losing this kind of money on these games, man. Like it was underwhelming from the onset. Like the reception from the onset after they released this game or showed this game
Was
off,
bad.
everybody was sort of like, to your point, this is what I would call mid. Everybody was kind of like, meh, there's nothing really there for us to sort of like run towards. And everyone was saying the same thing of like, well, another live service experience, really, Sony? Another live service experience? So I'm not surprised at the outcome, but I will say that, like, yes, it's like, yeah, I don't know who's gonna turn things around today, because Sony should be struggling right now. Sony should be seeing shit, but for some reason, and if you're a Sony fan, I just think that it delays a lot of the games that you look forward to, because a lot of these resources were dedicated to these live service games, and this is a lot of money that the company lost. So yeah, as far as Marathon is concerned, to answer your question, I think it's dead on arrival. I don't think anything's gonna come of it. It might do slightly better because it's Bungie than say, what was the other thing, Concord. But I think, yeah, it's done. Like, I think
This will
it's
do better than Concord. Come on.
probably because
This will do better
probably
than
because
Concord.
Bungie fans are probably gonna play it. But I
And
just
people that are not Bungie fans will play it.
so how many people do you think this game will get?
This will do like
Player numbers.
peak
Yeah,
concurrent.
peak
This
concurrent
will
just on
pass.
Steam.
This will pass 10,000. This will pass
Okay.
10,000. Yeah, easy, easy. It could get to 50, but I'm just trying to. I'm trying to ease into the week. You know, I just came back from a difficult past
Yeah,
week. I'm trying to ease into it. This will pass 10K easily. Do we agree on
I
that one?
can see that. Yeah, I can see that. 10K is
Damn, man, you actually agree. All right, all right, all right.
no, 10K is achievable. It's just the legs. I wonder what sort of legs it's gonna have. But I just don't see any enthusiasm. Have you seen anyone or any channel or any even creators
Dude,
saying,
going back to what I was saying,
"Whoa"?
going back to what I was saying about public sentiment, Oshus, there is nothing positive about Bungie, about Marathon. Not the only people that are in any way positive about Marathon work for Bungie. That's what I'll say. I have not
And it's
seen
not
one
weird.
person on any platform celebrate and be psyched for this thing unless they're like someone that's literally connected and is getting benefits from Bungie or from Marathon and getting access from the Marathon devs. But random people just being interested, nothing.
Yeah.
Not people are just waiting for this thing to bomb and they just want to make content with it.
It feels pretty forced in my opinion as well. Like I really do feel that like it came off like, if I remember the launch and I watched those guys, like there was the most awkward. It's like I've never seen more awkward devs that don't have like funny colors in their hair.
That was a
Um,
bad move. That was a
like
bad move.
it just like it's like they were talking about, like they spent like a good 15 to 20 minutes telling us about like why they wanted to make a game. And I'm like, okay, all right, like I can also share with you like why I want to make a fucking game, but you
Cautious.
guys
You
have
know what
made a
was the
game, can
worst
we
part?
watch the game?
You know what the worst part is?
Yeah.
They called it a Q&A. They
Oh
answered
my
one
gosh.
question.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, there was. It
That
was
was
just
bad, bro.
that was bad. Yeah.
That was
You
That
could
was
tell,
terrible.
and I've been in
Whew.
teams like in corporate. I've been in teams, Loke, where you guys all know it's a shit show, but corporate forces you out to go talk about your little shit show project, and
Because it's your
everybody
job.
just it's just they're like, oh fuck, do I have to say something? Yeah, and you just thumb sucking whatever sounds good, whatever's on that little whatever your project plan was, and you just talk shit like, yeah, you know what, we put a lot of thought into.
That was it was heartbreaking to see. And then you could
It
see like
was,
the
it
eyes,
was,
that dude's eyes. It's now a meme. It's now a
yeah,
memes. The face, it's like the life was sucked out of him.
yeah,
Or
bro.
something Cross.
I
Thomas
feel so
Cross,
bad.
Andrew Cross, something Cross, that's his name.
Yeah.
He looked like he just wanted to like find a hole, crawl into it, and crawl out a year later or something. But oh my god, I actually kind of felt bad for him specifically. I kind of felt bad for him, and then I found out he was one of the developers that's been following and actively stealing from the artist for like 3 4 years.
I saw that as well.
Now I don't feel so bad for him. Fuck him.
I
Because
don't know, man.
even if he didn't steal, when you follow someone, you start to see stuff from their feed.
Yeah,
Fact is, right, most probable is that he at least saw her style, her inspiration, right, and the stuff that she was putting out. And when he saw something similar on Marathon, let's pretend he didn't take a part in it. When he saw something on Marathon, she has a very distinctive style. You're telling me that even someone like me that knows almost nothing about art to the technical level, I can easily see the connection between what's on Marathon and what she did, right? I can do that. So imagine someone that's a professional and does this. Let's pretend he didn't know that that's what was happening with Marathon. You telling me that he was following her for years, saw whatever was happening with Marathon art, and didn't make the connection. Press X to doubt. Press X to
I don't
doubt,
know, man.
everyone.
Like, I just feel that these people, like, I already believe, like, in my in my being a fan of the art of the medium, I believe that game development is probably one of the hardest, and I suppose in the same vein, rewarding. It's one of the hardest jobs you can do because you're literally creating entire worlds out of thin air, and you're taking code,
Characters.
you're combining with art. It's there is no other art form like like there was that I think it was GDC or some shit where like those two losers that make movies, what's their names, it's George Lucas and Steven Spielberg,
All
said
right.
some
Those
said
guys are
some
many
fun-
things. Those guys
they're
are
a bunch,
many things.
they're a bunch of losers for what they said. Like they were standing next to the X,
What
and
they
funny
say.
enough,
What they
ironically,
say.
they were
Yeah.
standing enough next to the CEO of Xbox at the time, which was the other guy, the TV guy. What is his name? The super the wonderkind that what's his name? The one that came up with this whole thing, like the whole digital first. The one that said we have a console for that, and it's the 360. What's his name?
Oh my God. Don Metric? Was it
Don
Don Metric?
Matrick. They were standing next to Don Matrick, and then they said that this was, dude, this was in 2010, 2011. I can't remember. They said some funky shit like gaming is not mature enough to tell good stories, basically. That they don't see that you'll be able to tell freaking stories like Star Wars or whatever the crap that they make. Yeah, that's what they said. Like it was Steven Spielberg and George
But
Lucas.
even in 2010, you already had Metal Gear, the whole
Ex
Metal Gear series.
100%. And I'm like,
Before we even get into anything else.
I wish Kojima was there to tell them, where to jump because, like, clearly they'd never. You know what games they played? They played Pac-Man back in the 80s.
Ma-
That is what they
and
think
when
a
they
video
went
game is.
and when they tried games, and you know what? When someone told them to show them what video games look like today, what the employee probably doesn't game, grabbed a Nintendo console and showed
100%.
them Mario Kart and said, "Here's video games in
Yes.
2020." And they're
Yeah, they
like, "Oh,
said that.
see, games are shit. Games are
So
shallow.
so
It's for children,
there's
bruh.
always
Make your
been this
child go and play The Last of Us. You wouldn't
100%.
let them get through the start menu."
I agree with you. Like there's this sentiment, or there's always been this sentiment in Hollywood that gaming is an immature form of telling stories. Whereas gaming involves everything. It has music, it has writing, it has acting, it has every single type of storytelling medium that there is that you do not get in all the other mediums. It has all that combined into one. So when I see like such potential being wasted in with these live service, I'm like, guys, with this budget, do you understand the sort of awesome projects that you could make? If you take that Bungie team and then like you sort of gave them the sort of vision to say, guys, go do something like, I'm gonna give 50 of you a project. Go make, here's a little budget. Here's 20 million. Go make something for me. They would come up with something as unique as Clear Obscure because those guys have been in the industry for so long. I'm sure they've got great ideas, but instead they're all being sent to this farm to go make these live services that you could tell none of those people are passionate about. They're dead, to your point. Their eyes, they're dead. They want to do something creative, but they can't. They're stuck in this freaking conveyor belt of putting out live services, and I hope it
Ham,
ends.
what are you talking about? Ham saying Bungie is crushing it. Arc Raiders. Ham, I think you switched the two. Arc Raiders is the one that's crushing it. Bungie's fucked. Like Bungie needs to make sure Destiny 3 is one of the games of the generation. It can't Destiny 3 can't just be good anymore. Now it needs to be, I don't know. It needs to be the Elden Ring of always online games, multiplayer games. No, Ham, I disagree on that one. I definitely disagree on that one. Art Raiders is so fun. Yeah, yeah. No, the meme is Art Raider, right? Because they stole art, and Arc Raiders is taking their lunch. That's the joke. That's the joke. Ham says Bungie doesn't have to ask for art. They're just playing their game. They extracted that art style perfectly. No credit was ever due. Ah man, I hope she sues the pants off of them. Ham said marathon should be $80 to $100 for the remake in a few years. All right, now we know Ham's trolling. Ham is trolling.
Mm.
I'm putting Ham on timeout. I'm putting him on timeout. Seawolf says, "Look, play the new intro for Delta song track." Seawolf, please go and check to make sure that we're not gonna get copyright struck. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind playing that, but I need to make sure that we're not gonna get copyright struck. If you can't do that, then I guess we're gonna have to wait till the next show because I can't be doing that right now because we still have a lot of stuff to get into. Oh my goodness! Also, shout out to Matt. Matt likes games because he just shot me some very great news. I've been having a rough past few days, but this news was beautiful. It was awesome. Uh, so this is a press release from Globe Newswire. Nacon announces agreement with WRC promoter for the publishing of the official games of the FIA World Rally Championship from 2027 to 2032. We Everyone panicked, right? When EA dropped the ball and said they're not going to do the rally games anymore. As everyone knows, I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of the rally games. But don't worry, because as soon as EA is done, which is, I think it's going to be this year. This year is going to be the last one. And then next year, Nacon is going to take over. This is good because before Codemasters, Nacon actually did handle some WRC games. So it's in safe hands. We shall be fine. We shall continue to have rally games. Thank you so much, Matt Likes Games, for sending me that news on Twitter. I really do appreciate that, brother. Really, really appreciate that. All the good news is welcome. I'm looking forward to watching the Metal Gear Solid trailer. You know what? We can look. Okay, the new intro has a song that I can't play, unfortunately, but I think we can watch the intro. Oshus,
Yo,
I know
what's
you
up?
don't mind watching MGS Delta's
Yeah,
new trailer.
yeah, sure.
Came out 3 days ago. I heard everyone say that the new version of the song is awesome, but I still haven't listened to it myself. Have you?
It's the same lady. That's all I know. I saw her with Gene Park. She did the original opening song, so I think she's re-recording it. I have not heard it yet, but you know what it
Dude,
is. What a
when they say,
feeling.
"Oh my god, dude,
Uh,
we might get copyright struck even for that."
it's very Tina Turner ish. Tina Turner, James Bond.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a lot of James Bond. I don't know about the Tina Turner part, but it's
she
a lot
did
of
one of
James
the James
Bond.
Bond cover songs from the 80s,
Did
bro.
she?
Yeah,
Did
no,
oh Volgin?
Golden Eye. She did Golden Eye.
Really? Check out
Yeah.
Volgin. What do you think about Volgin? This scar looks even more detailed.
Is he not supposed to be blonde?
Yeah, I think he's blonde. I think he looks blonde there. It's just the lighting that would make you
Yeah.
think that he's not. Oh, this is the part where you fight. Okay, you know what? No spoilers. But this boss battle's awesome. Legendary boss battle. Even
Was
the
that with
way that you have to.
the river of ghosts and
Yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah. The sorrow.
Yeah.
That's where you fight the sorrow. Oh my
Isn't
god.
he your dot 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 dot?
Aye, Wena. No spoilers, please.
He's
Some of us have
Austin. He's
experienced.
Austin Powers' father.
Stop it. Stop it. There's no Austin Power.
Well, he's some character in the game's father.
Right? Eating the
Wink, wink.
snake,
Not.
eating eating the brown snake.
Oh, I loved this part of the game.
What swallow
The
snake?
turning the snakes into rations because whenever you kill it, most it turns into the ration box.
My
Uh,
favorite was the toads, which is weird. The end. The fury. Oh my god. Dude, I played this game so many times I know like all the boss battles.
uh,
I know the bosses' names. It's
I
ridiculous.
know, I know all of them are like they're part of like what is the squad called?
What do you mean? What's the squad called?
They're part of a squad. Like you know, almost all these guys always a part of a squad in Metal Gear Solid. You've got
Oh,
the Foxhound. You've got the
hey,
what
that I
they've
actually
got a
don't
name,
remember. That I actually don't remember.
and they were all part of the boss's clique. Most I forgot what her squad was called. It
Yeah,
was
I knew it
Fox.
wasn't
Was it
Fox.
not Fox something?
I don't think it was Foxhound. Or was it just Fox?
Let's see.
I think it was just Fox.
Because
Because
don't
before it
forget
was
that
called
like the whole
Foxhound.
Foxhound thing comes from the fact that Snake is a such a mark for the boss that he literally plagiarized a lot of her stuff when he was creating his unit. The boss's unit.
I mean, he even took the title, right, of boss.
Yeah,
He
Big
even
Boss. He
took the
called himself
title of
Big
boss.
Boss most. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. That is so good.
Cobra
That
unit.
is
That's
so.
who they called. They're the
Okay.
Cobra unit. Which is
So he
why you
took.
see the snake most, in all the trailers. It's the Cobra.
Okay, okay.
You know what's missing from
Oh,
this
yeah?
is
Well,
Kojima Productions.
dude, you know Kojima would have his name all over this motherfucker.
And you
You
know what
know it.
annoyed me about like the what? And I think he
MGS5.
did this.
He overdid it with MGS5.
Oh my freaking god! Every single time you finish a mission, Kojima
Yeah,
Production. I'm like,
yeah.
mother, like we know this is your game,
We
bro.
know, bro. We get it. I mean,
Yo,
I'm a Kojima fan. I'm a Kojima fan. You know what? I'm a Kojima glazer. And even I was like, yo, relax.
bro, we know this is
Relax.
you.
Dude, even I think it's too much. That's how you know that it was too
Yeah.
much. Come on. Jacob Novak says, I want to invite you to, says, look, I want to invite you to voice a character in Dustborn 2, The Dusk Strikes Again. Jacob, Jacob, if you know anyone that's hiring, I would do that voice. I would do that voice. I don't care. I would do a voice for Dustborn. I would do a voice for Marathon 2, like Dragon Age 2, I'll do a voice. Just give me that paycheck, bro. I don't care. I do not care. Give me that paycheck. I'll do a voice for Dustborn too. Not a problem. Not a problem. Foxhound is in MGS1. Yes, Seawolf. Yes. I only pay when I know I get online to do so. All right. Jacob, Jacob is stressed out right now. Were you not expecting me to say that I'd do it? I'll do it. I'll do it. Listen, I got bills to pay, bro. I got bills to pay. Oshus, any final thoughts on that MGS trailer that we just saw? I think we've lost Oshus. Oshus, your mic is like up and down, right? It's showing the signal, but there's no sound coming from it. There's no sound. So maybe try and sort that out. All right. Well, while Oshus tries to sort that out, let's look at a game that I thought was interesting. It's something that I would actively play. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm not paying $60. I'm not paying 70. And obviously because of exchange rates or whatever in Mozambique, I'm not paying $100 to play this game. I'm just not doing it. I'm sorry. But I would be interested to play it. It's called Rescue Ops Wildfire. Essentially, you play as a firefighter. Very interesting concept. Lots of truck driving, taking down trees without the fire, but then it can get real, and then you have to actually put out the fire.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Oshus.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Rescue Ops Wildfire.
The fireman simulator.
Yeah, fireman. It's essentially fireman's fire person simulator, Oshus. We don't want to be non-inclusive, all right? Fire person simulator. It's on Steam. What? Hold on. Guys. It says here there's no PlayStation version. The fuck? It's just Epic Store, Steam, and Xbox. There's no PlayStation version.
Oh, is it like was it Space Marine 1?
Well, now that we're on it, what do you think about the whole Space Marine 1 situation?
I think there's a logical explanation. It's probably coming to PlayStation eventually. If they want to sell the game, it'll come to PlayStation.
I mean, we can assume everything is going to PlayStation eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
But
And it's weird. I want to know who's publishing it. Is it Sega?
Ooh, this one.
No, Space Marine 1. Because it was originally a Sega game. I want to know why they. It's probably a very logical reason why, because games don't just miss PlayStation for no reason. It's not like with you know who.
I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. This is now the second game that there's no PlayStation on thingy on day one. I'm worried. I'm
Why?
worried.
Why
I
is it?
this could become a trend because with the whole FTC thing, now there's people that are theorizing that now that's gone out the window, Microsoft could start doing what everyone was afraid they start to do, which is grow a spine.
Yeah, but like Microsoft still wants Sony's money. I don't think they'll do anything to alienate Sony. But there's no word. But we will hear something in the next week or so as to when it's coming to place. It's not whether. To me, it's not even a matter of if. It's a matter of just when.
All right. Rachie with the $2 Canadian. Thank you so much for the super chat. Rachie says, Don't worry, Loke. Nothing of value has been lost. Don't be like that, Richie. This is a decent game, and Space Marine everyone knows is an awesome game, right? Everyone knows it's an awesome game. Richie also says, "Where's PS? Look, why do we keep all those small games, but all the big games on PlayStation?" Hey,
Yeah,
bro,
that's true.
don't ask me. Don't ask me. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy.
I
Seawolf says
wonder.
we get fires on Death Stranding too. Yeah, yeah. It's such a random thing to happen, right, Oshus?
Yeah. Like I really wonder, hey, because this is so unprecedented in the like whenever it happens to Xbox, you know it's Xbox tax. You're like, we know.
Yeah. It's kind of expected when games skip Xbox. It's weird. It's weird seeing games skip PlayStation. It's
And,
very weird.
and what makes it weird, Loke, is the fact that X we know Kumbaya Phil. Phil wants everything on everywhere. So there's no point. Phil is giving you Forza 5. At no point in time is he holding back Space Marine, the remaster. After giving you Forza, after giving you Indiana Jones, after giving you Doom, why would he hold back Space Marine, the remake or the remaster of the like what, like 15-year-old game from PS3? Come on.
It makes no sense.
None
Which
whatsoever.
is why the conspiracy theorists are saying, "Yo, this is FTC related." But I
Huh?
think it's far fetched. I think it's far fetched because if I'm not
No, I think
mistaken,
that's a reach.
Space Marine happened before it happened. Space Marine happened before the
The announcement.
FTC gave up the ghost.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't think
hey,
it's
Big
that.
Mad Mo is in here. All right, let's go.
Yo,
Now the show starts. Big Mad Mo says, "Why, why are you worried about what's going to PlayStation when you can play it on Xbox?" Mo, Mo, I'm not worried in terms of, ooh, I'm so scared. I'm worried in terms of uh we have a trend that we are accustomed to. For some reason, something is not following that trend, and I'm making note of it. That's all I'm saying. And that's something to pay attention to, right? Like the first time Xbox put a first party game on PC, I'm sure a lot of people are like, whoa, what's up? What's going on? I'm just having the same reaction with now two consecutive games, obviously not blockbusters, but two consecutive games coming out in a very short space of time, right after the FTC gave up their lawsuit against Microsoft saying, yeah, these games are going to Xbox and PC, no PlayStation. It's like, hold on, hold up.
wait a minute.
We can't sing the whole thing, dude. We're going to get copyright struck. Uh, Mo says, who gives a F? Now it's a problem. Make up your mind. Oh my God. Bro, relax.
Mo could just
See,
smell this the Xbox slander. He was probably chilling offline somewhere, and he smelled the Xbox slander. He was like,
yo, what's happening? What's happening?
I can, my Xbox senses are tingling. Someone is slandering Xbox. Let's go.
Sapo, welcome in. Sapo says it's fine. PlayStation does it all the time.
Stuff.
Hey, Final Fantasy on Xbox. ACS, everyone is okay with that. All right. I'm just saying, again, following the trend is that everything goes on PlayStation,
Yeah,
like 80% goes on Xbox. That's the trend.
yeah.
Suddenly, and it diverts for a little bit. I'm just, noticing that the trend is not doing what it should do. That's all I'm saying. Relax, guys.
It would be weird, and I don't know how. If like, can you imagine if like Phil just like hardcore heel turned and just J just started psyching PlayStation like psych like like
Psych.
yeah, like imagine, because what we're
That's not
expecting
going to
now, right?
happen.
So
What's
what
going
we're
to
expecting,
happen?
yeah.
What's going to happen is what Taya is saying right now on the screen.
What's Ty
Taya
saying?
says Xbox likes to keep its fans guessing.
Oh, come on, Ty.
Xbox is that ex-boyfriend that calls
Oh,
you once a month, to tell you he loves you while
Ah,
dating your sister and your best friend. God
oh, come on,
damn.
man. This is
It's funny because it's accurate. Oshes, it's funny because it's accurate. You can say everything you want about PlayStation, but at least they're consistent about what the hell they want to do. They said
no,
they're
but
gonna go
you know
live
what?
service. Hold on. They said they're gonna go live service. They went
Yeah,
full tilt into it. Obviously, they're like smashing into a wall and losing tons of money. But they said they're gonna do that and they're doing it. Xbox is like, oh, it's going to be 4 games. Turns out it's 40. And then no. It's
yeah,
going to
but
be
that's
on a base. There's going to
case
be
to
a
case.
basis to
Yeah,
base, case to case
yeah,
situation for PlayStation. Is like, no, nothing's going. Nothing's going to Xbox. Nothing.
yeah,
Nothing.
but like, you know what the difference is, Luke? I don't
What?
think you're wrong about the sister analogy, but I think you got a little
Oh,
bit
that's
twisted.
Ty. That's Ty. Ty's
Oh,
the
is
one who
that
came up with the
Ty?
sister analogy. I
I
just read
think
it out.
I
I
think
just read it out.
I think you got it twisted. Xbox is the kind of dude that would make you or like allow you to date the sister and his wife or girlfriend.
Oh my god.
That's how generous Xbox is. Like, yeah, you want my sister? Yeah, you want my wife is no problem, bro. Like, how often you want to hit? Once, twice, bro. I'm busy. Like, she needs to be occupied. Like, you take care of it. Take care of business, Sony. Yeah. You
Oh my
BD
god.
that stuff.
Oh my God.
That's
Is he clapping and pom pomming as PlayStation just
he's sitting in the corner saying yes,
oh my God. All right.
yes.
All right, stop it. Rachie says Philadelphia Spencer and Satya Natella are going all out. All right, I see what you did there, Rachie. I see what you did there. Uh Mo
But
says ain't
it'll be
nobody worried about the sales. You didn't get the memo. MAUs. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Anyone here still talking about console sales, talking
I'm not even
about
gonna get into
video
that.
game sales, you need to sit down because you're the only one talking about that. The leadership at Xbox is
No
talking about
comment.
MAUs. The leadership at Sony is talking about MAUs. You know what? You want to talk about console sales? You want to talk about copies sold? Go and buy you a Nintendo. Go and do
Comment.
that. They're still in that business. Sony, Microsoft, they're not in the business of of like copies sold. They're talking about monthly active users. That's what they're talking about.
I saw that. Yeah.
Uh, Jax82 says the original Space Marine was published by Relic. It's being published by Sega for the remaster. Huh. Okay. Pa, 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 pa.
So
All
what
right.
did
So
you say
Osha, are
about
you
Relic?
interested in this game on the screen? The
Uh,
original game was published by Relic. Now it's being published by Sega.
okay. My rule, Luke, for why I buy video games is I don't buy video games for things like if I could have applied for the job and done it in real
Oh
life.
my God,
Like,
this guy!
I just don't like games where I can actually fill out a job application and actually go and do the job.
You suck, Oshes.
If it doesn't involve me doing some outrageous stuff that I would not be able to do in
You
real life,
suck donkey balls,
I'm
Oshes.
good, bro. Like, yeah, it's the same reason I didn't even like that Schedule One. I'm like, dude, if I wanted to sell weed, I could do that. Like, I
I
just
just go do it.
yeah,
But then you'd have to go through the actual jeopardy of probably getting arrested.
it's legal in South Africa to sell weed. Sorry, it's legal to plant. You just can't sell unless you have a medical license or some bullshit like that.
I forgot about that little extra there.
Yeah, no, like it's been. I think it's been since 2017 that weed has been legal. So yeah.
I should move. I should move to South Africa then. I kid. I
Hmm.
kid. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
I
joking.
buy like
I'm
I
not a
don't
partaker.
have dealers anymore. I just go to the
All
local
right,
shopping
Oshes, we're
center.
not going to get into this. We're not going to get into this.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
shopping center, bro. It's
I'm
right
trying
next
to get
where I.
no, dude. We're
You want me
trying
to
to get
order you
sponsors.
some?
We're trying to get more sponsors on TSWS. Settle down with this talk. All right, settle down. Okay. Let's go to the main topic of today's show. Only took us an hour. Only took us an hour.
You,
Monolith
look,
Soft says, well,
you do know that there's sponsors that actually. Mm, Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for controlling yourself, Oshus. Thank you. Monolith Soft says procedurally generating assets in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 reduced man hours considerably. The studio says automating the creation of some of its 100,000 assets allowed more time to focus on gameplay. So, in an interview, Japanese publication CG World map model designer Yoichi Akizuki, support engineer Matsuhiro Hiroshi, and programmer Takahashi Shibahara,
Uh-huh.
sorry, not Takahashi, it's Takashi. Takashi Shibahara discussed the studio's gradual inclusion of procedural generation tools in software like Houdini into its development process. Procedural, procedural asset generation lets developers create base 3D models, textures, and defined rules to create an algorithm. This can then be used by software to automatically generate numerous assets that follow the same rules. For example, a developer could create the 3D model and textures for a tree, then define the parameters of what a tree should look like, and the software will then generate a number of trees that all look different but follow the developer's set guidelines. Because procedural asset generation involves applying algorithms to base assets created by the developer itself, this is not the same as generative AI, which pulls data from other sources and has been criticized in recent years for its ability to not potentially, literally, steal copyrighted artwork from other artists. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which released in 2022, was praised for its enormous open world. And in CG World's interview, the trio explained that the introduction of software like Houdini made this a less time consuming task, allowing developers to automate the creation of smaller, inconsequential assets and giving them more freedom to work on gameplay and other more important art assets. Akizuki explained to the publication that the total number of assets was increasing with each new Xenoblade game, which made it increasingly more time consuming to populate the vast worlds the series is known for. And I quote, the main reason for the introduction of procedural asset generation was to cope with the increasing volume of assets required for games. This has had a particularly significant impact on our game titles, which feature the exploration of vast and diverse fields. In the past, we managed to produce 1,000 to 2,000 assets manually, but now that number has increased to 100,000, which is impossible to keep up with manually. The conventional method had limitations in terms of cost and schedule, so we replaced the placement process with a procedural one and automated it, allowing us to focus our development resources on the actual game creation. We had been conducting basic research on Houdini for some time, but it was with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that we were able to put it into practice for the first time as part of our asset placement system. We have been able to significantly reduce the amount of work involved in placing detailed assets, he said. It is also being utilized in the basic collision process that is unique to games. Collision is the final key in game adjustments, so manual final adjustments are essential. So we automated 70% of the process using procedural techniques and adjusted the remaining 30% manually, which led to a significant reduction in man hours. He then added, the, the more we reduce these man hours, the more resources we can allocate to gameplay and visuals, which ultimately contribute to Houdini's ability to enhance the value of the game. All right, before we carry on with the quotes, Oshus, any thoughts?
Noble intentions, road to hell.
etc., etc.
Yeah, because I mean, like we all know where this is going. It's gonna like if I look at what Microsoft is doing, like people are wondering why Microsoft, with all these IPs and all these games, are firing so many people. It's because of all this. Because this is the future. Eventually, a lot of this stuff is going to be generated through some AI process, and unfortunately, real artists and real engineers are gonna lose their jobs as a result. I hate that part of the industry, but I think it's not even gaming as a whole. But I just think it's where corporate or business in general is going. Unfortunately, sucks.
I would tend to disagree with that one. I think this type of automation will make it so teams are leaner, and leaner teams, sure, like you said, there'll be less need for, I don't know, teams of like 10 to 50 artists for one specific game. But what that'll do is it'll free up the 40 artists, right? Instead of 50, now you can have 10. It'll free up the other 40 artists to go and work on stuff like Clear Obscure.
What do you mean,
So,
like to
sorry?
to? No, I mean, like I get what you're saying, but like effectively, they're not. They're going to be unemployed, and then they have to sort of seek their own.
The only people that stay unemployed, right? Listen, I didn't want to get into this week. I wanted to get into this next week with Taye here. Did you see the legendary drops video where he was talking about
Yeah.
people losing jobs and whatever? About the article that was pointing out that the people that will be most affected by this new era in AA
Mhm.
game development is like middle managers, the managers of managers of managers, people that don't really
Yeah,
add any direct value to a game getting made or shipped.
I hope so.
Like your HR manager, I don't think it's a hope. I think it is a literal thing, and there's countless examples, and
Mhm.
people are now getting tired of pointing at these examples. So now they're gonna let this happen. In my opinion, actual artists will still have jobs. Like the people that directly make the games, they'll be fine. It's the people that don't directly influence and make the product better, those guys are screwed, in my opinion. Like your HR manager, what do you need an HR manager for in a 12-man team, in a 30-man team? There's no need.
I don't know. Like I've been around in corporate enough to know that even if people don't directly influence the process, there's so many. Like I'll give you an example. Back in 2010, 2011, just after or just before Skyrim came out, they took so Todd Howard took like a film crew. They went throughout the studios, and then they looked at how the studios were making the games, what the day-to-day process was, and there were so many people that were instrumental in that process, from the cooks to the people that worked at the gym and that helped with the training. And I looked at that whole and
Yeah.
I say, wow, so a healthy team to make something as awesome as Skyrim that can be beloved for decades has a healthy support. You need all these other fundamentals because, again, like to me that was always the proposition of this whole AAA thing, is that you have all these supports so that you always have your people at 110% because they've got the best cooks, they eat the best food for developers, like that are healthy. They have a good after work regime that's part of the office where you could go to gym, stay healthy, while you are still working on a video game. So to me, all those things are not, yes, you can do out all those things and you can get rid of all those things, but is it going to give you a team as healthy? And I'm not talking about like small scale. I'm talking about now big, scale corporates and companies, that when you do away with that, you sort of change the dynamic and you change the motivation for the guy that's doing the thing. If he doesn't have that coach, he doesn't have the good, well structured meal made. All those things matter. I'm sentimental that way, but I really think that will be a loss for those guys making those games. including your HR manager, in case that guy maybe feels sexually harassed or something. Who knows?
The way I look at it is that Skyrim will still get made. Starfield 2 in the year 2032 will still happen. It'll still happen. But it'll be less and less. You won't have many big AAA games coming out. Because right now, the people that are into this wave, they're toxic. They they're the bad people in gaming. They're the ones who want developers and artists and writers and middle managers to lose jobs. But the real bad guy always shows his face every single time. And the real bad guy is the corporation, baby. And the same way the corporation looked at Splinter Cell and said, you know what? Making $10 million off of a game, sorry, making 10 million sales off of a game people are excited for, that's not enough. Take Sam Fisher's skin and put it into a mobile game. Then we can make $100 million. That the corporation is the one that's leading us down this road. The corporations. It's just no one is paying attention. The people at Clear Obscure didn't, well, maybe the leader, but most of them didn't just get up and say, you know what, screw Ubisoft, I'm out. A lot of them got let go because the
Yeah.
corporation sat there and said, we don't need you anymore. Which is what's going to happen to the people making Xenoblade, which is what's going to happen to the people making the next Death Stranding, the next Skyrim, etc., etc. These people are going to get laid off by the corporation, which is going to make the mathematical calculation that they are now unnecessary. These people are then going to go and make their 10-man studio, and they'll make the next Schedule 1, and they'll make the next Expedition 33. It is a self-fixing problem, in my opinion. We are just here observing, really. We're not going to influence it because games like Marathon will be made and we will hate them. We will let them crash. Those people will lose their jobs. And I bet you a ton of the developers in Marathon probably don't even believe in the vision that's there, but it's their job. They have to follow that path that the leader, that the manager or the middle manager decided that now this is the way we should go. But when they make their own extraction shooter, it'll be fire. But first, this needs to happen. They need to lose their job, or they need to get retrenched or whatever, and then they go start their own thing, and bam, now they're millionaires. It just is what it is. And then when they go and start their 10, 30-man team, they will thank God for these automation tools that are quote unquote removing them from the job market. That's why I'm saying, Oshers, the people that actually have skills, they'll be fine. They'll leave, they'll make something, and they'll be okay. It's the middle managers, the people that don't actually make the games. Those guys are screwed. There's too many of them. But a side discussion has popped up here in the comment section, Oshers. Seawolf says, remember that elevators used to have operators. Thoughts on that one?
No, I agree. Like, I mean, like automation, like, dude, like to me, this is not news. Like, this is, like, I've said this for the longest time. Is that like where we're headed to? Is we're headed to, and I always use this to push back against the artists on the internet because they were the first ones to lose their
Hold on, I need
minds.
to take a piss. Be right back.
Yeah. So my main thing or my main sort of like pushback has always been against digital artists online that have been doing all this art, anime, CG, and all that. They were the first ones to sort of push back against AI and the uses of AI. And my rebuttal to that was like, well, if you're an AI, if you are an artist currently, AI can only benefit you because now you can do more art because you're already experienced in the field. AI will only make your art better, which is a valid point. That said, I feel that like what corporate is doing is not the same thing as you, a 10-man team, needing extra people to jump on board or needed extra resources to finish your project. The problem with these companies is that they have the funding, they have the resources, they just don't use the resources correctly or allocate the resources correctly to be able to get these games out the gate. Their focus would be to actually reduce staff, reduce payroll, and take the cheapest. And again, like if you've seen it, I mean, we've seen it with Disney with like what is that thing? That show that they released that cost 200 million, and then they used AI art for the opening credits, and it looks lazy and it looks cheap, and at no point in time did a company like Disney need to use that. So I'm all for the small companies that need these extra resources to be able to get voice actors digitally, to be able to get generative worlds, etc. I get that, but I'm saying there's a what's going to happen is that these things are going to be misused by the same companies that make rake in billions. And it's sad, but to your point, it's inevitable. You can't stop it now. You've already opened the
Pandora's
flood.
box.
Yeah, well, in full, well, I'll say this: Hollywood has been smart about it because they've already started regulating it in terms of how much AI you can use for movies and whatever. I don't know what's going to happen in gaming because again, I don't trust game publishers. They are the most ruthless. They're always looking for a shortcut to almost like, for the lack of a better word, to shortchange the gamer and the guy making the games.
Richie says, I miss the people who pump the gasoline for me. Wait a minute. I own an electric car. Never mind. Listen, if anyone misses pumping gas as a job in Mozambique, we still employ people to pump gas. Your salary, though, not great. Anyways, Taye says legendary drops is trash. The worst of the worst. Low tier bitching content creating stories out of nothing. Dorian Gray, on the other hand, says legendary drops is fire. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the duality of men. Ty, sorry, Oshus, what do you think of legendary drops? You can make it as brief or as long as you want.
I have no opinion, dude. Like, he's not a guy that I follow much. Like, actually, I don't follow him at all. He's not a content creator that, yeah, that registers on my radar. I just the reason I even know about him is just because I've had like a lot of conversations like this where he's been brought up. So I've got no opinion on him, to be honest with you, Luke.
All right. Me personally, I love him. I mean, the man, 90% of the time, I agree with him. 90% of the time. He misses, but listen, no one's perfect. The one guy that was, they nailed him to a fucking cross. Um, Seawolf brings up another salient example. Says Kojima got the boot. Now he calls the shots. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. If you're in game development in any at any level and you know that you don't have the skills or the chops to, actually produce, you should be scared. You should be scared because if you get retrenched or fired or whatever, you probably will not be able to go on and do something yourself. You should be worried. Uh, what's this? Ty says, be careful, guys. The more people we have making games, the more crap games will get made and more potential concords. Thought you guys wanted less. No, no, that's the thing. Ty, crap games have always been made. Oshus,
Mm-hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong at any point, but crap games have always been made. Always. It's since the beginning of video games.
I mean, the first
Let's
console
not
to
forget
crash.
E.T. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was to say. Is like the first console to crash the video game industry was Atari 2600
yeah. Let's not forget E.T.
console.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying, all I'm saying is I don't mind people putting in 10,000, 100,000, a million, 5 million into a game and it's bad and then they move on or whatever. I'm okay with that. I get worried when you hear about 100 million, 200 million, 500 million for a single game. Yo, that is worrying. That's the type of money that can sink a whole ship. So I don't mind little teams doing it guerrilla style, trying something, it fails, then they try something else and it fails, then they try something else and it fails. Because the lower your cost is to try a game, to try and make a game, ship it and get it out, the more bites at the apple you can take. But if you swing with everything, with all you've got and you miss, that's it. That's it. But bad games have always been made, brother. Uh Log 7 is starting is PS5 for a pisser. Stop it. Stop it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Ty is coming for you in the chat. God damn.
What's I saying?
Okay, here we go. Here we go. More people talking about legendary drops. Let's go. Remake Station says legendary drops is trash. Seriously. The dude got lucky from Baldur's Gate content and then rode the outrage, bitching, DEI gaming wave. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Is he
As
talking about like is T talking about like legendary drops here about like him bitching and complaining about the industry?
yeah, he's talking about legendary drops.
Like I get he's fatigued with those guys and like it's the same shit of like I'm also over that. Like fuck like for the fact that Grams can now come and talk about South Africa like he knows something about South Africa because it's adjacent to his bullshit Trump boner and like like it's
All right.
to me like a lot of these guys have overstepped their like they are so out of their depth with a lot of these subjects that like all this grifting is so out of like it has nothing to do with games anymore. It's
Hold
just
on.
unrelated
Hold
subjects.
on. Hold on. Grams cannot speak on South African politics.
He can speak on anything he wants, but he's like grossly unqualified to talk about that stuff. Like most Americans that talk about
What
this, they
qualifies what qualifies someone to speak on a specific subject?
actually being knowledgeable about the subject.
What
Especially if you've got
qualifies
millions of followers
what
that actually
qualifies
hang on your
answer
every
the
word.
question, Oshus.
You know?
What qualifies someone to speak on the you brought up a specific example. I want you to give me a specific thing that Grams needs to have so he can speak on South African politics.
Actual understanding of what's happening in South Africa. Any sort of understanding or semblance, not what he heard on X randomly second hand or third hand.
That's not specific enough. When you say any understanding also includes what you hear on X. You're the one who said any understanding, Tai. Oshus, I'm
Okay.
using your words right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm
And the
happy with
reason
that.
why I'm asking this, I don't want to sound like a Grams defender. I don't want to sound like a Grams defender. I'm just trying to be objective and consistent here.
Yeah,
If Grams can't talk about South Africa and South African
which you
politics
can't.
because he is not qualified to talk about it, I need to know what makes him qualified. Why? Why? Because I sometimes talk about whatever the hell is going on in Burkina Faso. I sometimes talk about what's happening in the
Why?
US. I sometimes talk about what's happening in video games. Do you know what I don't have, Ushers? I have no official qualifications to talk about any of those three things. I have an entire YouTube channel talking about video games. I have never taken a class on video games. I have no courses in video
Have
games.
you played a video game?
I've played a video game.
Have you? Do you own video games? Do you invest a significant amount of your finances or your income into video games?
Yes.
Okay, so like I can ask you 10 questions about video games, which you'll answer yes to, which is like how many have you played more than 10 video games? So there's I could give you 10, 100, 10, 5, depending upon the qualifiers you want. What anything? Give me one thing that Grams has done to do with Africa or South Africa that
Well,
qualifies.
next time. So now we're talking. You. Thank you for starting to get a little bit more specific. I've been
Mhm.
begging you, but we finally got there. So essentially, he needs to put in an X amount of time.
Some sort of effort into
So he
the
needs to
subject.
read a couple of books on South African
100.
history. Yes.
Not even read, just go freaking ask Grog. That's the one thing that annoys me about these people. You have an AI that disagrees with the guy that made the AI. You go whenever Elon posts, especially about South Africa, go and ask Grog, is Elon lying? Grog will say yes. Elon is lying about the subject. Elon did not, and Grog will give you the breakdown as to what's happening. So for me, if you don't even take the 2 seconds, this goes for your boy Esmond Gold as well. He's just as guilty with this. They've researched this subject for nothing.
How is he
They've
my
put,
boy? How is Asmund
they've
Gold
put
my boy? Why is he
nothing.
my
They've
boy?
put, uh,
No, no.
yeah,
Why is he my boy?
because you
I've
always
never
giving him
spoken.
props. You
I've never
always give
spoken
your
to this
boy.
motherfucker. I've
You
never spoken
always
to
give
this guy.
you it's figurative. I'm exaggerating. I'm speaking
Okay,
figuratively as your boy
okay.
because you always, and I've also given him props in the past, but I've unfollowed all those people. I've muted them from all because they have nothing productive to say besides the narrative of what, oh, Trump owns the Africans. These Africans come to Trump and Trump shows them a video from YouTube, not researched by the millions of institutions that he actually has, showing pictures from the Congo, showing like there's so much misinformation in that like little thing that he did there. And he's showing this to other dignitaries from other countries. I'm like, what is going on here? So now we're getting information. We're getting information from YouTube sites. This is the government. This is the president, the most powerful man in the world. His resource is a troll that happens to be a billionaire that's getting him stuff from documentaries made on the internet that contains a good 5 out of 10. Like all the info, like not all, but like majority of the information is incorrect. Every single news
All right,
publication ran
all
with
right.
that.
Pause. That's enough.
So,
That's
so
enough. That's enough political.
yeah, because I'm
Uh,
very passionate about the subject, and it's got nothing to do
all
with the fact
right,
that I'm
all
South
right, all
African.
right. Well, you know
I
what? You
just
know what,
feel that
Oshis?
if you're a president, dude,
God
like,
damn it!
now let me ask you a question, Luke.
I need you to
Would
finish right now.
Okay, cool. Would they allowed Obama to do this type of shit? Yes or no? They would have never do that. Obama would have never been able to sit next to like freaking even the Russian president and ambush him with this bullshit.
All right,
But it's okay.
all right, all right. All right.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying something. All I'm saying is that like
Man, quick plug, everyone. I will be starting a YouTube channel where we'll be able to go deep into these specific topics that are like not even video game adjacent, like completely in another solar system. But here we want to keep it either video games or video game adjacent, which is why the whole Grumps thing was relevant. Fuzzy also says, yeah, legendary drops kind of sucks. Just the usual rage bait stuff. I don't know, man. Like I've seen the videos, and I don't feel that like they're rage bait. And even when the whole woke thing got out of control, Ushers,
mhm,
for the people that watch him, he actually called out that stuff. He was like, dude, what the hell are these
yeah.
guys doing? For for me, in my opinion,
No, no,
90% of
no.
the time, legendary drops is on point. And I don't feel like he rage baits. I feel like he points at the dumpster fire and he laughs with the rest of us. Because Oshus, believe it or not,
Mhm.
when Concord fell flat on its face, a lot of people were happy. A lot of gamers
Oh,
were
I know.
happy. It is only human nature. This business of, oh, if you don't like it, why don't you go where you like it, where you like stuff? That's not human nature, bro.
Oh no, this guy is cool though. Like he's very objective.
That's not what it's about.
Huh?
Wait, who are you talking about now?
Your legendary drops, dude. Is he the
Oh, you
beard with
checked.
glasses?
Yeah, you just checked who it is.
Yeah, like I actually I actually do follow this guy. I just didn't
Thank you.
recognize his name.
All right.
He's
So you thought it
he's
was
cool.
someone else.
He's
Thought it
no,
was
I thought
someone
he was
else.
I thought he was
Thank
some
you.
Nick kid.
For
I thought
people
he
that
was
actually watch,
some right
for people that
wing.
actually watch, for people that actually watch Legendary Drops, this guy celebrates
Yeah, no, he's
the
pretty
highs,
legit.
the highs of the highs in gaming, and he also highlights the lows of the lows in gaming. I feel like anyone that says that all of his content is rage bait
No, it's
either
not.
doesn't watch, or also classifies TSWS as rage bait.
But he's
Because
soft, man. Like
guess what, guys? When the FTC thing was popping, that's all we ever talked about on TSWS. When it looked like Microsoft was winning, that's all we ever talked about. When it looked like they were losing, that's all we ever talked about. When Concord was failing and falling like Icarus into hell's pits, that's all we ever talked about. So if Legendary Drops is a rage beta, you know what? I'm also a rage. I'm not going to speak for everyone else on TSWS. I'm also a rage beta. That you can call me that as well, because when something is there in front of next thing, he's going to be a rage beta for talking about marathon. What was he supposed to do? Not talk about the biggest failure in the last what six years? It, is that what's expected? Are we now going to fall into the pit of toxic positivity? We just got out of toxic positivity. We're supposed to do it again. Otherwise, you're a grifter, you're a rage beta. Come on, guys. Come on. Oshas, I'm glad you searched him out and then you found that
yeah, like
you actually
I
you're actually
actually
okay with it.
so I don't follow the guy, but I've like he's whenever like a new topic is out, his stuff always appears in my timeline, and I've watched his videos. He's pretty harmless. He's pretty objective. He's not like, and I'm surprised Taye is typing in capitals here. uh,
He is screaming.
I don't know why he's angry typing it. The guy is not that bad, Ty. Come on. Like out of all the grifters, all the losers that you like to point out, this guy is pretty objective. He's pretty fair. He's not had an opinion or an idea. I've not heard him. He's not one of these like Grams type of guy, or who's this Endymion. He's not one of those Nick Beard type dudes that only
Yeah,
cares about like right wing, far right wing things, right?
bro, this guy will play. He'll stream games for 6 hours when he has a day off of work. He actually plays games. Come on, we need to relax, guys. He's not a grifter. Dorian Gray says, sick of people talking about us complaining. When you pay my bills, then I might give a F what you think of me complaining. Osha's thoughts.
On what specifically?
Dorian Gray said
Yeah.
he is sick of people talking about us complaining. When you
Hmm.
pay my bills, then I might give a F what you
Yeah.
think of me complaining.
No, that's completely true. A friend of mine had that same saying to say that, well, do you pay my school fees for you to tell me what I can care or not care about? Like, everyone is entitled to complain if they are paying for a product, if they are buying into the product. Like, you cannot tell someone how to feel about something, especially if it's something they're putting money, time, or a significant investment into. Absolutely agree. It's like, yeah, like it's your opinion, and if people agree with your opinion, that's fine. Like I might disagree with your opinion,
But they
but
can't
if
tell
there's
you
a
not to
market, no, I
not to
can't. I'll never discourage any of these guys that I say, even with Asmon, because I feel that some of like it's trolling is there's nothing wrong with trolling, right? But and I will laugh and be cool with it until it affects me, and that's unfortunately human nature. It's the same thing with like your boys. The moment they started to come after like my country, I was like, you know what, go fuck yourselves. Like, you know what, all of
Why
your
are they my boys? Osha, why are they my boys?
huh?
I've never met Elon Musk. Why
No,
is he my boy?
I'm using it figuratively. I'm just
Oh
saying,
my
like,
god,
all
bro.
these guys that are in that circle jerk of like, we're all pro right, we're all pro what. I'm like, okay, cool. I had no issues with you until you went after my country without actually doing any actual research as to what the fuck is
Now we
happening.
got a problem. Now we
Now
got a
we got a
problem.
problem. Now it's like, yeah, you want some, come get some. Like that's what it is. So all of y'all can get all of them. All of them. I
God
mean, like
damn. All
Esmond,
right.
all of
All
them.
right. All right. All right. All right. Rachie says, I own a house. You should listen to me because I'm an expert on the subject. I think this one's for you, Oshus.
Who's this?
Rachie says, I own a house. You
Hmm.
should listen to me because I'm an expert on the subject.
Yes. Like if it's your house.
Essentially to say that what your analogy doesn't or your requisites for grams don't add up.
Well, if like my man, can I like okay, so Rachie, can I come to your house and tell you what to plant in your garden?
Okay, that's another discussion, dude. We're talking about whether or not grams can speak on something, and then whether or not he has the credentials to speak on something. And all I was saying is, what's the credentials? And Rachie is just challenging
Well,
what you responded to, saying essentially, if you own a house, you can talk about homes, which is not true, obviously, because people that own homes don't know architecture. And my issue with people saying, oh, so and so shouldn't speak on what's happening in South Africa, what's happening in gaming, what's happening in whatever, unless they have the right credentials. My problem with that ethos, right, is that if we open that door and we follow it to its natural conclusion, no one's going to talk about anything,
well,
right?
I don't have a vagina.
Like me, for example, I'd have to leave TSWS and shut it down because I've never worked a day in my life in video games. Um, my favorite Man United podcaster, Mark Goldbridge for Man United, he now has to shut down the United stand because he's never played professional football. Do you get me?
I hear what
Like,
you're saying, though.
if we follow that path, we're all screwed. Because now I would only be able to talk about freaking procurement, bro. That's what I have to
Um,
talk about now.
you
And
know,
people that are married would be the only people who would be able to talk about marriage. People that have had kids would be the only people that can talk about children and raising a family. People
yes,
that have gone to space would be the only ones who'd be able to talk about space. People that have written anime, right, and actually made the anime, those would be the only ones allowed to talk about anime. People that just watch it and consume it, you can't talk about it because you've never made an anime in your life. Do you understand why it's risky to be like, oh, what's so and
no,
so's credentials to talk about whatever? It's like, bro, we need to relax on that one.
bro. Like I can't talk like, and this is why I don't get into the subject. I can't talk about women's reproductive rights because I don't have a vagina. I can't tell you what to pop and not pop out of your vagina, what you can put in on your. I've got it's. I'm not qualified to discuss that. Just like a lot of the stuff, like for instance, when it comes to your LGBTQ and all that, I'm not qualified to tell you what passes for what and what doesn't. I'm not. It's not a subject. I can tell you what you can't tell me to say or do about that particular subject. You can't force me to use words that I do not understand that you've not actually explained to me. But what you identify as, I can't dispute that. I can't say that you're wrong or right because I'm not qualified to talk about that subject. So, same reason why I can't go to a white dude and I say, well, I want to speak on being white or whiteness, or to an Asian dude and say, you know what, I want to speak on being Asian. I want to tell you what you Asians or whatever you can say. Or what I'm not qualified to do that. That's all I'm saying, is at least have the dignity to say, well, I've done some research on the subject matter, and this is my understanding based on what I know. Talking about, you are allowed to have an opinion on many things, but don't try and qualify your opinion as as almost like, well, you are talking from this subject because you have, because what they hold is they hold opinions that are ill informed, and they hold those opinions almost like they're facts, and they have no idea what they're talking about because they've done no research on the subject. All I'm saying is that you cannot tell people about a country that they live in if you don't live in that country, and have these like, yeah, I'm like, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. All right. We do need to move on from this. Taya says people should stop bitching and crying. People hate Ubisoft, yet they talk about them. How about just don't buy their games and keep it to oneself? Why everyone got to cry about it? Legendary trash. Listen, you ended it nicely. Legendary trash is kind of catchy, right? I'll give you that one, Ty. I'll give you that one. Legendary trash it is kind of catchy, but everything else you said there was wrong. You said people should stop bitching and crying. People hate Ubisoft, yet they talk about them. To Oshish's point and Dorian Gray's point, you don't get to tell people what they can and cannot talk about. Because by that same token, someone can say, "Why are you complaining that I'm complaining?" And then you'll say it's your right to bitch about the people that are bitching. Or you'll say you're not bitching, actually. You will say you're not bitching. Then they can turn around and say they're not bitching. Then they'll say no. Then you say no, but in my opinion, they're bitching. Yeah, but okay, in my opinion, I'm not bitching. And then what? So yeah, man. You know what? The last part of your sentence, very catchy. But everything before that, sorry, no. Seawolf says opinions are like assholes.
Yep, agreed,
Everyone has one.
100%.
Oh fuck. Tyke, it says Loke likes legendary trash and Asmongold. Low tier trash YouTubers that bitch about the industry, only talking about negativity. These losers said AAA devs should be ashamed. Tai, again, to my point that I was saying to Oshers, clearly you're just showing everyone, right? You're showing people that you don't watch either legendary trash or Asmund,
Why do you call it
Asmund,
legendary trash?
because that's what he wrote there, right? You don't listen to you don't actually watch these YouTubers. You took like catchy videos that they made. You made a deduction on the entirety of their character and their channels, and then you kept it pushing. What I did was actually watch almost all of their content, and I can categorically say that you're wrong. They celebrate a lot of the good things in video games. I'm tired of seeing Asmongold like cream his pants over an awesome indie game that he just played. I watched Asmongold's 4 hour live stream of South of Midnight, and by the end of it, he was like, "It's a pretty good game." I saw it. So you can't tell me that these people are not objective because I've seen most of their content. You saw 10% of it and made a judgment on who they are as a whole. Here's Oshes. Oshes was with you until he went to go search legendary drops. And it's like, oh wait. Hold up. So no, die. Sorry. Uh Ty says, haha, he doesn't rage bait. Look at how many videos he has about Ubisoft and how many times Yasuke is in the thumbnail. Look at the titles. F off trash. Yes, Ty. No one's sitting here saying he's never trashed your precious Assassin's Creed Shadows. No one said that. But to say that these guys only talk about negatives it's just incorrect. I'm sorry. It's just wrong. Oh my god. Damn. Oshus, do you think you're a loser?
Why?
Apparently we are for following legendary drops.
Because this is this Thai. Thai is special. He's God.
He's special. Don't
He's,
say it like that. Don't
he's,
say it like that.
he's special. Like Thai is just defensive of Ubi, so I don't know. Like he's the only guy that I know that is so protective of Ubi slop. Like he's like he will die on whatever hill for Ubi slop. And you're like, please, sir, I want some more. I
All right,
want
all right,
some
all right.
more slop.
We're not here. We're not here to trash the chat. We're not here to do that. We have to rise above. Jacob Novak says, Loke, I know your secret. You're Elon's sugar daddy. Bro, I wish I had enough money to be his sugar daddy. I be Ushers, do you know how much money you'd have to be Elon's sugar daddy?
Yeah.
Like trillions.
I
Trillions,
I
bro.
I wish I was born at the right time in this country where I could have actually gone to school with Elon so I could kick his ass at Pretoria Boys High. So I could be the guy that's dunking his head into the toilet and into the lockers so he has a reason to be angry. Just saying, it's a fantasy of mine.
Yeah,
And,
very
and, and
specific
I
one.
work right around the corner from where he went to school in high school. I'm like, geez, if I was just born in the right decade, I could have been the one that was wedging his ass into the fucking toilet. I was like, fuck, just, just, just too late, man. Like to bully that mother. Like I would actually, if you gave me one opportunity to get a time machine and go back in time,
Hold on, hold on. Okay. We need to sit on this one for 2 minutes, people. 2 minutes. Oshes, I need you to say that again. If I gave you a time machine
yes,
so you could go anywhere in the history of time,
yes,
you would go to when Elon Musk was in primary school
no, high
and you
school,
would bully him.
yes.
I don't give a fuck when. You would use that one
I
chance
would
with the
use that
time
one
machine
chance
to
to just
go.
go give Elon Musk a wedgie every single day for a year.
I think I think that's it. I think that's enough. I think
It's the only wish, like
yeah.
if I that's the only wish, like this is a simulation or whatever, like if there's like one thing you could, I'm like, yes, I just want to go do that one thing. I want to be the guy. I want to be the hand that holds his head down in the toilet as he's choking on his own piss. Before like second period, what is it like? What classes that Elon take? I'm just trying to think. What the fuck? What sort of class? What sort of nerdy, dumbass classes?
Dumbass classes that would turn you into a trillionaire. All right, sure. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Um Tai says, "Look, can a white person from United States talk about dictatorship or what's going on in your country?" Of course not. Can a white person from the United States talk about dictatorship of what's going on in my country? This is a very specific question, so I will give you a very specific answer. Okay. Yes, a white person from the United States can talk about dictatorship or what's going on in my country. They can do that. That is the specific question you asked me. That is the specific question you asked me. And even if I turned it to Ushers,
Yeah,
I'm sure Ushers would give you the exact same answer. Ushers, don't try and answer beyond the question that Ty just made. Ty asked,
yeah.
I'm turning it to you. Ushers, can a white person, can
Ty
a
did Ty
white
ask you?
person, look at the screen, Ushers. Pretend that question is to
And
you.
look, is
What's
that
the
Ty?
question?
That's not Ty. Is that Ty? What is he saying?
That's
Can a white
Ty.
person from the United States talk about dictatorship or what's going on in your country? Yes, you can talk about it, but like,
That's the end of that. That is the end of it. That is
yeah,
the end. That is
you
the
can talk about
start
anything you
and
want.
end of it. We need. It, I'm always being accused of running to the conclusions of things. So if we answer just that specific question, yes, Ty, yes, they can. Uh, Vince
Anyone
says
can
this is
talk
a
about
weird.
anything they want, but it doesn't mean
There
you're
we go.
qualified to talk about
Again, Oshus, answer the question and leave it. All right, this guy. If we're in court, I'd be like leading the witness, Your Honor. uh, Vincent Vega says this is a weird Monday. Loke didn't have you savages in check for a few days, and y'all became wild again. Yo, I'm telling you, all it took was me taking a week off, and suddenly the chat's crazy, the panel members are crazy, everyone's losing their mind. Ah. Dorian Gray says apparently white people at Ubisoft have the cheat code for blackness. The way people kiss their. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It's been a heated episode. Lots of opinions, lots of heated arguments going, left and right, in and out, up and down. And I really do appreciate everyone coming through to share their thoughts. We also appreciate the super chats. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. We do this every single Monday on TSWS Gaming. Oshus, please plug your channel. Tell people where they can find you, etc., etc.
So guys, thanks again. It's always a pleasure to be here with you and banter with you guys. So in terms of me, I am on this platform at Osha7 or Oz the Wiz, and I finally actually am working on content that should be done by the end of this week. By the time we're talking next week, this time I will have at least one video up of something I've been working on,
Is
and
it
it
Guna
rhymes.
centric? Is it Guna
No,
centric?
it rhymes with
Dude,
shitbox. Uh, so
you
I've been
see now
working on
you
this.
are rage bait. You're a rage baiter.
I've been working on this video for such a long time. It's just
Guy
like
needs to come for your ass.
it's my closure for my breakup with Xbox. So I'm working on
Oh, do
that.
you want a hug?
Um,
Do you want a kiss?
no, no.
His breakup
Uh,
with Xbox. These motherfuckers been dating the
yeah,
consoles. Dating
yeah, man.
the
We had a
console.
relationship.
Oh
We
my
had a
goodness.
relationship.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's enough
so
of that.
that's me, bro.
That's
Like,
enough of
but
that.
yeah, but other than that, look, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm also on Facebook, and I've mentioned it many times. Xbox Players SA on Facebook and on Twitter, Oz the Wiz or Oz07, Oshus07.
All right. Good stuff. Aussie fan, appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through. Really do. Everyone else, please make sure to smash the like button on your way out. We shall see you on Wednesday for the lowdown with me, Ham, and maybe Matt as well. Uh, what's this? Oh my god! Stop it, Dorian Gray. Stop it. Go home and sleep. All right. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you on Wednesday. Goodbye.
They said we said